We are excited to embark on a journey. It's raining a lot today. Do you like to cook? He did not practice speaking English and his fluency did not improve as a result. I wish I knew how to fix cars, I could save on repairs. He decided to stop eating junk food. Children have been watching TV for hours. She did yoga every day and became more flexible as a result. The baby cries loudly. They built a sand castle on the beach. We organized a charity event to collect donations for a good cause. He wrote an opinion piece on the future of renewable energy. I've been taking piano lessons for a year, he said. I had a light dinner and did not feel bloated as a result. It is rarely cold in this region. I wish I had more opportunities for career advancement. They had already packed their bags before the trip was cancelled. He is watering the plants in the garden. The government should have implemented stricter policies. He said to his sister, I'll pick you up from the airport. My boss gets angry if I'm late for work. They have to attend the compulsory education session. We will travel to Europe next summer, they said. He is studying for the entrance exam. She did yoga every day and became more flexible as a result. We are excited to visit our friends in another city. I usually go for a walk in the evening. If we had brought our cameras, we could have taken some great pictures. They want to visit Paris next summer. Values friendship and loyalty. I need to check my email for important messages. I don't eat meat. The bus arrived on time. The tree was planted in the garden. She works on a fashion design project. We should recycle our garbage to protect the environment. Did he live in the city before moving to the countryside? Values friendship and loyalty. He is studying for the geography exam. You should turn off the TV before going to bed. My brother is more athletic than me. If you had told me earlier, I would have prepared dinner. We went hiking in the mountains. The restaurant should have offered better quality food. They will study abroad next year. He meditated and felt more relaxed as a result. We often go swimming in the lake. I need to finish this project before the deadline. He had his car repaired at the auto repair shop. They should wear safety glasses in the lab. They volunteered at an orphanage to help children in need. He wished he could see the sunset from the top of the mountain. The cat stretches its legs. You should have arrived at the meeting on time. We've been waiting for over an hour, they said. He usually reads before going to bed. They had saved enough money to buy a new car. We had coffee together after the meeting. This phone is cheaper than that. He started his new job last month. We had the plumber fix the leaking pipe. Did he live in the city before moving to the countryside? He played the guitar for a long time. He decided to stop eating junk food. They just arrived at the airport. He can ask her out. The bakery had been baking bread since early morning, so everything was fresh when we arrived. I cannot attend the meeting. I have a doctor's appointment. We were already eating when they arrived. If I were a doctor, I would help people in need. He likes to go jogging in the morning. The movie tells a true story. See you in the park after school. I wish I could play the guitar. She has been attending yoga classes for a month. I wish he hadn't missed his flight. He will have completed the course by next week. The letter was written to my aunt. He likes to swim in the ocean. Feeling cold, he put on a warm jacket. If it rains, the ground gets wet. If he had apologized, he would have forgiven her. They're going camping next month. He wished he had spent more time with his grandparents. They had their roof checked for damage. Can you pass me the newspaper? Asked. He better apologize for his behavior. You rarely go to the gym. She needs to practice her dance routine for the show. He may go to Europe next month. He will start a new job in October. Was he honing his guitar skills before the band invited him to join? We're having a barbecue in the backyard. She wants to try bungee jumping. The baby cries loudly. I don't play video games. I wish I had a bigger kitchen so I could try cooking. By the end of the quarter, they will have met their sales targets. I exercised regularly, so I got more fit. I wish I had taken a different route, I wouldn't have been stuck in traffic. She baked cookies for her friends. They are hiking in the mountains. He remembers his childhood. It's getting dark outside. He had already left work when I called him. Children are playing outside. He left the party early feeling tired. We have already booked our tickets. He was reading a book while waiting for the train. He's taking pictures. Were you learning French before you decided to move to Paris? Even though it's cold outside, I don't feel like wearing a jacket. They never go to bed late. He usually goes for a run in the evening. What time does the train leave? They asked. He joined a running club to prepare for a marathon. They finished their work early. The company should have offered a higher salary. He always takes a shower before going to bed. We volunteered at an animal shelter to help stray animals. I'm meeting my friends for dinner. He wants to buy a new phone. They want to study abroad next year. They had a gardener mow and fertilize their lawn. He's drawing a picture. It may be late due to traffic. To pursue his passion, he enrolled in a photography course. If you had set the alarm, we wouldn't have gotten much sleep. The issue discussed at the meeting required careful handling. After breakfast we went for a walk. He had already left the party when I arrived. She is training for a dance recital. The rain, which had been pouring heavily for hours, finally stopped. I've already watched that movie twice, he said. He will travel abroad next month. We must obey the traffic rules while driving. She enjoys cooking Italian food. We cleaned the house after the party. Have you seen the new superhero movie before it was released? The house was sold at a high price. Students ask questions in class. She was cooking when the guests arrived. If I had passed the driver's license test, I could have gone to work myself. Next year he will have acquired a pet. The magazine published an article about eco-friendly living. The horse the cowboy rode was wild and untamed. The error was fixed immediately. The decision was made after careful consideration. The party was organized by my friends. We should have arrived at the airport earlier. I prefer comedy movies to action movies. Was he working on his project before realizing he had lost all his files? We're doing karaoke at the party. He was supposed to go to the gym this morning. They had been waiting at the airport for hours when their flight was finally announced. I can't lend you my car. It's being repaired. I had already packed my bags before the taxi arrived. He set up a YouTube channel to share his DIY projects. They are playing chess. You must be kind to others. They're going to a concert tonight. He plays the guitar very well. The decision was supported by the majority. We never go to bed late on weekdays. We are excited to open a new page in our lives. They had been working overtime for weeks to meet the deadline. He enrolled in a business course to learn entrepreneurship. We forgive but we don't forget. He can lend you his car if you ask nicely. The house was decorated for the party. We will travel to Europe next summer, they said. He started jogging every morning to improve his health. He's writing an important email. He has an artistic talent. He'll be cooking dinner when he arrives. The package was opened by the buyer. He should have finished the report yesterday. He couldn't find his sunglasses. We watched a football match on TV. The wind is blowing strong. Have you ever tried bungee jumping? His handwriting is more legible than mine. I do not have the necessary skills. We usually go shopping on Saturdays. I have watered the plants regularly and they have grown beautifully as a result. He had already started his new job when I saw him. My brother is more athletic than me. They want to visit Paris next summer. Was he preparing for a job interview before he got the call? He lost his job and started looking for a new job. He will start a new job in a different city. I wish we hadn't missed the train. Do you play any musical instrument? The article discusses the benefits of exercise. They are preparing dinner together. I wish he hadn't missed his flight. I prefer tea to coffee. I wish I had more time to spend with my family. The baby is babbling. They go on vacation during the winter holidays. She volunteered at a soup kitchen to help the homeless. Despite limited resources, they have produced a beautiful piece of art. If only the rain had stopped, we could go for a walk. Children have been watching TV for hours. He couldn't find his umbrella on a rainy day. They had completed all the tasks on their to-do list. They followed the recipe exactly and the result was delicious. They envy your success and wealth. The dog was barking loudly in the middle of the night. Although it was far, they decided to walk to the beach. The window stayed open all night. Before you can play video games, you must finish your homework. The concert was liked by everyone. He believes in the power of love. Friends since childhood. You should have studied harder for the interview. You should have checked the weather before going out. They held a sand castle contest on the beach. I saw a shooting star and made a wish. They had their children vaccinated at the clinic. She never misses her morning tea. Does he like swimming? He is looking after his pet dog. Fixing a leaky faucet. The student selected for the team demonstrated outstanding skills. They want to learn to play chess. I had a great time during my vacation. They lack motivation. We had lived in that house for 10 years before we decided to move to a larger one. They will have completed their research by the end of the month. I wish I could travel to space. The pink dress suits you better than the yellow one. The company is launching new products. He usually takes a shower in the morning. I can't eat seafood. I'm allergic. He agrees with the plan. We must respect our elders. I wish he had bought that car when it was on sale. He always takes a shower before going to bed. Sometimes they play video games together. Feeling cold, he put on a warm jacket. He had his car inspected at the auto repair shop. We went to a concert to listen to our favorite band. I attended a seminar to gain new knowledge. I'm cleaning my room. The computer is working perfectly. I've already eaten dinner. This article provides tips to improve your English speaking skills. Despite financial difficulties, they started their own business. Thousands of people attended the concert. They spent all their savings on vacation. By next month he will have toured 5 different countries. By the time he finishes his studies, he will have already started working. He wished he could see the sunset from the top of the mountain. Friends since childhood. I wish we had known about the incident beforehand. He's studying for the science exam. He enjoys reading books in his spare time. Have you finished your book? They constantly quarreled, so they decided to break up. He is running in the race. They should have bought the tickets online. He had a guitar technician nail his guitar. Have you ever seen a kangaroo? I can't swim. I never learned how. We had already eaten dinner when the guests arrived. Did he live in the city before moving to the countryside? By tomorrow afternoon they will have finished the project. I'm learning to play the guitar, he said. The company was investing heavily in research and development, and it was paying off. He's talking on the phone. The house was painted last week. Students are preparing for the science fair. They must obtain permission before using someone else's property. They were hiking in the mountains during their vacation. He read the newspaper every morning. They lived in New York for a long time before moving to Los Angeles. He had his passport renewed at the embassy. They want to buy a house in the suburbs. He traveled to many countries in Europe. You should listen to your family's advice. He had been looking for work for months until he was finally hired. They lack proper education. We plan to go shopping later today. I wish they could attend the conference. I prefer tea to coffee. He can ask her out. He upgraded his laptop with more RAM. He couldn't find his way back home. He was supposed to attend the conference last week. We had the malfunctioning TV repaired by a technician. I'm thinking of starting a new exercise routine. We had visited that city before. He is jogging in the park. Then we go to the mall. He was playing tennis on the local court. She wishes to know more about different cultures. They often go to the beach in the summer. He had his phone repaired at the service center. We should have talked about this in more detail. The sound of thunder frightened the dog. I don't smoke. I bought new running shoes to participate in a marathon. The problem was caused by the lack of communication. Did you see the last episode of that show? Asked. I would like to visit Paris one day. They told me, we are planning a surprise party for your birthday. We used to play basketball in high school. He's taking pictures. I saw a shooting star at night. She is knitting a scarf. I've been reading this book for a while. I will study abroad next semester. If you want to pass, you'd better study for the exam. They should have chosen a different restaurant. He had worked for that company for 5 years before he left. They had been waiting at the airport for hours when their flight was finally announced. They wished they had listened to my advice. He takes pictures of the sunset. I wish I had known about the discount earlier. He never leaves the house without his phone. The room was cleaned by the maid. I had my car washed at the car wash. I had never been to Asia before my trip to Japan. By the time he arrives at the station, he will have already boarded the train. The movie was more emotional than I thought. He likes to paint landscapes in his spare time. The teacher should have graded the papers by now. I wish I could attend the concert last night. He had upgraded his phone to the latest model. I have already finished my homework, he said to his friend. They usually go out for dinner on Fridays. The bridge was built across the river. You must arrive at the meeting on time. It started to rain heavily. See you tomorrow at the party. If only I could live on the beach, I would be happy. He is known for his engaging articles on travel destinations. The car costs a lot of money. He went to the gym to stay in shape. We often go to the beach in the summer. We traveled to a different country to experience a new culture. They had been working on the project together for months but still hadn't finished it. We got ready for the party all day. I wish I could travel to space. The cafe around the corner is more popular than the cafe across the street. The store was closed the day we went. The computer was repaired by a technician. I had my car washed at the car wash. She was trying on different clothes in front of the mirror. They were discussing travel plans for the summer. They will have won the championship by the end of the season. We should have invited more people to the party. While it is time-consuming, cooking from scratch is healthier. You should clean your room before you go out. Despite the long wait, the concert was worth it. The shop opens at exactly 10 a.m. You must make a reservation for dinner. I'm going to buy you a birthday present, he said to his sister. Students will present their projects to the class. The letter was sent via express mail. If it was a holiday, we would go on a trip. They can travel the world and document their adventures. I'm learning to play the piano. The flowers were beautifully arranged. They have to study for the final exam. He was late for his appointment. It usually takes some time to get a response. He supports his team. Our favorite meal in the restaurant was finished. The baby is babbling. The woman seen in the red hat is my aunt. He exercised regularly and improved his endurance as a result. He was saving money for the holidays. But then his car broke down and he had to use the money for repairs. We had sushi for lunch. They were discussing travel plans for the summer. They can get a rescue dog from the shelter. The car driven by the drunk driver caused the accident. He enjoys hiking in the mountains. The store sold the new video game within hours. We have already booked our tickets. They cleaned the house all day. I'm going to take a photography course next semester. He will be working on a new painting all week. He is practicing the piano. They wish they had more friends to hang out with. They will attend a business conference next month. They can open their own YouTube channel. This phone is cheaper than that. Working on marketing campaign. The conference is scheduled for September. He looks excited for the trip. He had already left the country when the news came out. He had his car washed and detailed at the car wash. If you heat the ice, it melts. Students must turn in their assignments on time. By the time he wakes up, we'll be at work. The report was printed for the meeting. They met the actors after the show. See you in the park after school.